Particularly, Spanish-English bilingualism has been privileged. This is seen as providing access to highly visible, socially accepted form of bilingualism, leading to the possibility of employment in the global marketplace. In contrast, bilingualism in minority and meridian of free language has been generally undervalued and associated with an invisible form of bilingualism related to underdevelopment, poverty, and backwardness. Question. The question we can ask, how for bilingual education programs for majority language speakers in Colombia today are actively helping towards the creation of a more understanding, a more tolerant society, and not only providing a way to better jobs and a higher standard of living for the graduates. Bilingual education programs in Colombia have primarily focused on Spanish-English bilingualism. The idea is that this recognition of linguistic and cultural diversity in our world may lead to recognition of the importance of tolerance and respect for the other. However, in reality, particularly during the last few years, when bilingualism and bilingual education are referring to the central focus on one particular language, English, says Sylvia Valencia, 2005. The emphasis is very clear in most bilingual education programs in Colombia. The reference is only to English and the objective is competitiveness in international makers. Yet is it clear that the notion of a national bilingual program brings to the forefront the concept of a national language policy, particularly in view of the recognition of Colombia as a multi-ethnic and pluricultural nation in the Colombia political. Colombia will be able to communicate through English with international comparable standards. This will contribute to the insertion of the country in the process of universal communication, the global economy and culture opens. Men presentation 2006. Examples such as the German school in Medellin states that they aim to prepare the students for encounters with other nations and culture so that they will be open the world in a spirit of international understanding. While Colegio Los Nogales, Bogotá, attempts to inculcate in the students the awareness and the pride of being Colombian with a universal context. The Colegio Colombo Británico in Cali, for its part, offers a bilingual and a bicultural education, which strengthens the values and tradition of the student culture, stimulating respect for themselves, for others, and for others' nation and culture, so that there may be a greater understanding among all. There have been voices raised in support of a more inclusive vision. One of these is Mabel Livia Cárdenas, who has argued for the importance of including a more egalitarian viewpoint in relation to language policy. In a letter written in 2003 to Antanas Mocus, who at the time was the mayor of Bogotá, in relation to the policy of Bogotá bilingual, she states, a bilingual strategy will have privilege and equal condition. The treatment given to the first of the majority language of the population, as well as the language which is being promoted for academic competitive goals. In conclusion, bilingual education programs is our country to aim to improve their influence on a more comprehensive and more tolerant society, and not only focus on learning English to improve our competitiveness.